Hello and Assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Mohammed Ali. I am level 1 student at Rehan School Islamabad campus. So today we do a interview with ChatGPT. My interview topic is good, and let's start our communication with ChatGPT. Hello ChatGPT, can you hear me? Hello ChatGPT. My first question for you is what is good?
Hello. Wool keep other animals. It's warm, durable, and can absorb moisture. Wool is often associated with cold weather because of its insulating properties.
Okay, ChatGPT, very good answer. And my next question for you is where does wood come from?
Wool primarily comes from sheep, but it can also be obtained from other animals like goats, which produce cashmere and mohair, alpacas, llamas, and even some rabbits like Angora rabbits. The process of obtaining wool involves shearing the animals, cleaning the raw fleece, and then processing it into yarn for various uses.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is what are trees what are trees used for?
Trees have many important uses. Here are a few. 1. Oxygen production. Trees absorb 2. Habitat. Trees provide shelter and food for species of animals, birds, and insects. 3. Wood, furniture, and paper products. 4. Climate regulation. Trees help to regulate the climate by absorbing greenhouse gases and providing shade. 5. Aesthetic and recreation. Trees enhance the beauty of landscapes and provide spaces for recreation and relaxation. Trees are truly invaluable.
Okay, ChatGPT, good answer. And my next question for you is why is wood important? Give me answer in 30 points.
Wood is important for many reasons. Here are some key points. 1. Construction. Used in building homes, furniture, and infrastructure. 2. Renewable resource. Can be sustainably harvested. 3. Biodegradable. Breaks in source of energy for heating and cardboard. Artistic 10. Clicks many I found help. I'm glad you're helpful. If you have more questions or need information on anything else, feel free to ask.
ChatGPT, my next question for you is what are the part of a tree?
Trees have several parts, each with its own function. Here are the main parts. 1. Trees have wide, flat leaves. They're typically found in temperate climates and shed their leaves annually in the fall. Examples of broadleaf trees include oak, maple, and birch. These trees often produce flowers and fruits, which attract also known as evergreen. They typically examples of coniferous trees include pine, spruce, and fir. These trees produce cones that contain seeds, which are dispersed by wind or animals. Coniferous wood is often used for paper production, construction, and as a source of resin. In summer, In summary, broadleaf trees and coniferous trees are the two main types of trees. Broadleaf trees have wide, flat leaves and usually shed them in the fall, while coniferous trees have needle-like leaves year-round. Both types leaves and often shed them in the fall. Coniferous trees have needle-like leaves that stay year-round. Both types are important in I'm here to help. Broadleaf trees have wide leaves and usually shed them in the fall, while coniferous trees have needle-like leaves that stay year-round. Both are important for the environment. I'm here to help. Broadleaf trees have wide leaves and often shed them in fall. Coniferous trees have needle-like leaves that stay year-round. Both are important for nature and humans. I can hear you. Broadleaf trees have wide leaves that fall off in autumn, while
I'm sorry, but you've hit the daily limit for advanced voice. You can switch to standard now to keep chatting.
Okay, viewers, we switch our voice.
Leaves annually. It's denser, tougher, and often used for furniture and flooring. Softwood comes from evergreen trees, which don't lose their leaves and is lighter, easier to work with. Action.
ChatGPT, please continue your answer.
Sure, the main difference between hardwood and softwood lies in their structure. Hardwoods have a more complex structure with pores, vessels, that allow for better water transport, while softwoods have a simpler structure with fewer pores. This makes hardwoods generally stronger and more durable, while softwoods are lighter and grow faster, making them more readily available. The distinction doesn't refer to the wood's actual hardness, as some softwoods are harder than certain hardwoods.
Okay, ChatGPT. My next question for you is how do people cut wood from trees?
To cut wood from trees, people usually follow a process called logging. It starts with selecting and marking the trees to be cut. Then, a chainsaw or a mechanical harvester is used to cut the tree down at the base. After the tree is felled, it's cut into logs of manageable sizes. In some cases, the branches are removed first before the tree is cut into sections. These logs are then transported to sawmills for further processing into usable wood products.
Okay, ChatGPT. Good answer. And
Feel free to ask.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is what is logging?
Logging is the process of cutting down trees to harvest their wood. It involves several steps: selecting trees, cutting them down, removing branches, and cutting the trunks into logs of specific lengths. These logs are then transported to sawmill facilities, where the wood is further processed for use in construction, paper, furniture, and other products. Logging can be done manually with tools like chainsaws or with large machinery like harvesters.
Okay, ChatGPT, good answer. And my next question for you is how do people carry wood from forests? Please give me answer in 10 points.
To carry wood from the forest, people usually use different methods. In smaller operations, workers might use hand tools like sledges or carts to transport the logs. In larger operations, machinery like skidders, forwarders, and tractors are used to pull or load the logs and move them to a landing area. Sometimes, if the area is difficult to reach, wood may be moved. Additionally, trucks or railways are often used for long distance transport once the logs are brought to a central location. In short, carrying wood involves a mix of manual labor and machinery, depending on the situation.
Okay, ChatGPT, good answer. And my next question for you is how did early people use wood? Please give me long answer.
Early people governed in different ways depending on their culture, society, and environment. In ancient times, the concept of governance was closely tied to survival, organization, and shared belief systems. For many early human societies, leadership was based on kinship or familial ties. The first form of governance often came from within families or tribes, where the eldest or most experienced member, often referred to as a chief or elder, was seen as the leader. These leaders were usually trusted because they had knowledge of the land, survival skills, or spiritual connections, which helped them make decisions that ensured the group's well being. In hunter gatherer societies, leadership was often fluid. Decisions were made collaboratively, and while one person might guide the group in a particular situation, roles would shift depending on circumstances. If the tribe needed to hunt, the strongest or most skilled hunter might lead. If they were in need of a healer, the most knowledgeable person in medicine or plants would take the lead. As human societies began to settle and form agricultural communities, governance became more formalized. With the growth of villages, towns, and cities, the need for more structured leadership emerged. This period saw the rise of kings, rulers, and even councils that made decisions for the good of the community. One of the earliest and most famous forms of governance in ancient civilizations was the establishment of kingdoms or empires. Kings or pharaohs were often seen as divinely China. These rulers had absolute power, and their decisions were influenced by religion and the belief that they were chosen by gods. In many cases, their governance was not only political, but also religious, and they had the authority to lead, enact laws, and make decisions. In some ancient societies, particularly in Greece and early Rome, governance took a more democratic turn. The ancient Greeks developed the concept of democracy in Athens, where free citizens were allowed to participate in the decision making process. Though this was limited to a small group of men, had elected officials who represented the interests of the people, with the Senate and assemblies playing a crucial role in decision making. These systems laid the groundwork for many of the democratic principles that would later evolve in modern societies. As civilizations advanced, laws and codes were written down to ensure fairness and consistency. For example, the Code of Hammurabi in Babylon, one of the earliest written legal codes, was created to maintain order and justice by providing clear rules and punishments. Other societies followed suit, creating their own legal frameworks. In tribal or indigenous societies, governance was often more communal, with a focus on consensus building. Leaders in these societies, such as chiefs or elders, played a crucial role in guiding the group through difficult decisions, but they also consulted the wider community to ensure that everyone's voice was heard. The emphasis was on maintaining harmony within the tribe and ensuring the collective welfare of the group. These systems often emphasized respect for nature, and survival depended on cooperation. Through these diverse forms of early governance, one thing remained clear. Leadership was about ensuring the group's survival, maintaining order, and protecting the values of the community. Early rulers used various methods such as religion, tradition, or consensus to gain and maintain their power. Over time, these early forms of leadership we see today.
Okay, ChatGPT, good answer. And my next question for you is, what did people make with wood in the past? Give me answer in 20 points.
Shukriya.
No, ChatGPT, my question for you is, what did people make with wood in the past? Give me long and proper answer.
आपके सवाल के बारे में बात करते हैं। लोगों ने हमेशा अच्छे तरीके से बात करने की कोशिश की और ये अहम है कि हम अपनी बातों furniture, chairs, tables and cabinets were made for daily use. Two, tools. Early humans crafted tools like and spears from wood. 3. Shelter. Wood was used to build homes, huts, and longhouses. 4. Wagons. Wooden wagons and carts helped transport goods. 5. Boats. Canoes and ships were made of wood for travel and fishing. 6. Weapons. Bows, arrows, and shields were crafted from wood for hunting and defense. 7. Utensils. Wooden spoons, bowls, and plates. 8. Farming implements. Plows and harrows were made of wood to help with agriculture. 9. Musical instruments. Early stringed and wind instruments were often made from wood. 10. Toys. Wooden toys like dolls, trains, and animals were popular for children. 11. Firewood. Wood was a primary source of fuel for heating and cooking. 12. Containers. Wooden barrels, crates, and boxes were used for storage. 13. Bookshelves. Wood was crafted into shelves and bookcases to store literature. Clothing accessories. Items like buttons, combs, and wooden shoes were made. 15. Religious items, carved wooden statues, crosses, and altars were used in religious practices. 6. Wood was used to build fences around homes and farms. 17. Weapons of war, catapults, and siege machines often included wooden components. 18. Ship rigs and masts. Ships' masts, rigging, and sails were constructed from wood. 19. Canoes. Wooden canoes were essential for transportation in many cultures. 20. Household decorations. People crafted wooden carvings, frames, and artwork to decorate their homes. Wood has been used in countless ways throughout history, showing its versatility and importance in daily life.
Okay, ChatGPT, good answer. And my next question for you is, why was wood good for building houses? Give me answer in long.
Boots were not directly used for building, then wood was indeed very important for constructing houses throughout history. Here's a more detailed explanation. Wood has been one of the primary building materials for houses for thousands of years, and it's the reason valuable and effective for building homes can be understood from several key factors. 1. Availability. Wood is naturally abundant in most parts of the world, especially in regions with dense forests. This made it a readily available material for early build shelters and homes with compared to other materials like stone or metal. Ancient builders could easily shape it using basic tools such as axes, walls, roofs, and doors, much lighter than stone or brick, making it easier to handle and transport. This reduced the effort needed in construction, especially when early humans lacked the sophisticated machinery that exists today. The lighter weight also made wooden homes more mobile in some cultures, such as nomadic tribes that needed to move from place to place. 4. Insulation. Wood has natural insulating properties. It helps keep houses warm and regulate the indoor temperature better than many other materials. This is particularly important in can regulate the indoor temperature better than many other materials. 5. Durability. Despite its lightweight nature, wood can be quite durable, especially if treated and maintained properly. Timber can last for generations, especially in climates where the wood is less exposed to decay causing elements. Many ancient wooden structures are still standing today, showing the resilience of wood. Flexible material, meaning it can be adjusted to fit different surfaces. It can absorb some movement without cracking or breaking. This is particularly important in areas prone to earthquakes or shifting ground. Wooden houses are more likely to bend and sway without collapsing, unlike buildings made from more rigid materials like stone. 7. Aesthetic appeal. Wood has a natural beauty that adds to the overall appeal of a house. Its texture, color, and grain patterns make wooden structures warm, inviting, and aesthetically pleasing. Many long appreciated wooden beams, paneling, and flooring in homes. 8. Environmental impact. Wood is a renewable resource when harvested sustainably. Require energy intensive processes to produce. Wood can be regrown, making it more environmentally friendly choice when managed properly. Many ancient and indigenous cultures utilized this sustainable approach to building homes. Craftsmanship evolved in creating wooden structures. 10. Effective. Wood was often more a high architecture used for framing, flooring, furniture, and many other components of homes. The history of building with wood reflects its central role in human development and the ingenuity of people throughout the ages in making the most of what nature offers.
Okay, ChatGPT, thanks for your answers, and we end our interview.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help. If you ever have more questions, feel free to reach out. Take care.
Okay, bye. So, viewers, this is our ChatGPT interview. I hope you like it, and share, and take care.